Hi, welcome to my channel, Peridot Projections. This is a pick a card intuitive tarot reading. If you've never done a pick a card reading before, essentially there's a message for you in one of these three piles if you feel particularly called or drawn toward one of them. And so I invite you to stay and listen to these channel messages. I have three piles to choose from. These cards were laid out before the peak of the full moon on October 9th, 2022. The three crystals which you have to choose from were charged under the light of the full moon on October 9th, 2022. And so I'm kind of here to help you break it down and say, okay, what the hell just happened? There's a lot of intense energy right now. What am I meant to incorporate into my life going forward? What did the full moon in Aries spark for you? You can watch this reading at any time. It's still going to refer to changes that occurred for you starting around October 9th in 2022. But that doesn't mean that you can't watch this in some, near or distant future in order to make sense of events that were occurring in your life during this time period. So, without further ado, I am going to introduce you to the three piles that I have here today. I actually chose the tarot decks intuitively and the oracle decks intuitively, but the crystals I drew from a deck that I have that I made. I basically wrote down every single kind of crystal I have on Post-it notes, and so the crystals were kind of influenced by spirit, and then I matched them to the decks that I chose. So that was just in case you want to know about my process at all. But, all right. Without further ado, three piles. So, pile 1 is going to be the Muse Tarot. And this golden fluorite, yellow fluorite mushrooms. I don't have a professional camera here, so it's taking a little bit to focus. Okay. No! Sorry. Alright. Is that a better distance? Okay, you can't really see it very well. Also, don't mind my thumb. Okay, I work in the food service industry. I injured my thumb, okay? That's all you need to know. Maybe I shouldn't show it. It's kind of gross. But anyway, this is Kunzite for pile 2. And the tarot deck is the Luna Soul Tarot. Pile 3 is the Revelations Tarot and the Black Kyanite. Let's see if we can get the focus there. Ah, so sparkly. All right, Black Kyanite. All right. So, if you're wondering how to choose, if you're worried, like you don't know how to choose which one of these three piles, then I'm going to say there's probably not a message for you if you don't feel particularly drawn to any of them. But if you do, if you feel drawn to more than one, I have another additional way that you can choose so you can narrow down which pile is meant for you. I selected intuitively 3 different cards from the Creativity Oracle to represent, well, one to represent each pile. For pile 1, we have this one. For pile 2, this one. If my hands are shaky, it's caffeine. I'm sorry. For pile 3, this one. All right, I hope that helped you choose. After you select a pile, you can click the link in the description to access the time code for the pile of your choice, and I will meet you there. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this pile, that means that you resonated with the Muse Tarot and the yellow fluorite mushrooms carving and this image. I should say and or, because you can really choose any way you like. I like the idea of giving multiple options of ways to choose between piles, because for me, when I read pick a card, or when I watch pick a card readings, I usually choose based on the crystal, because for me, I resonate with crystals, like I just always love crystals. So for me, I do tend to usually pick based on the crystal or how the crystal matches with the tarot cards when I watch readings like this. But I know that everybody's different, and so that's why I included this as well. Because sometimes it can also be kind of nice to have like oh, if you're stuck, here's another option. Anyway, this is a very vibrant pile. I'll tell you that already. And also, if you're confused, if you're looking for the blue one with the black kyanite, because that one was listed on the leftmost side, that's pile 3. I'm sorry that's confusing, I know, but when I was setting up the video, I just felt like it had to be. On the blue one had to be on this side, but for some reason I drew the cards for this one first, so it's pile 1. Don't ask, but that's why, if you need to know. So if you're looking for that one, that's going to be pile 3. Anyway, back to pile 1 for all of you vibrant souls. Okay, I'm really excited to start this reading because it's been set up for 2 days. That's what ADHD will do to you. But I am actually convinced, or I'm not convinced, I'm determined to actually finish this project this time. So let's get our first message for you. Let's get the overall general energy, or the general theme that we're going to use as kind of like a signifier to interpret the messages from this reading. If you didn't know, the Creativity Oracle is a 2-sided oracle. It has these images on the front and it has the words on the back. Usually I don't like cards that are double-sided, but I've found that one really fun way to use this deck is to look at the images, select an image that I'm drawn to, and then look at the word. So that's what I'm going to do for y'all. Oh, I'm so excited. Ooh, this is so fun. Originality. Feel lighthearted and free, while trusting that your unique way of doing things is the right way. Yes, I was about to say that this is a creative pile. Vibrant is the word I chose instead, but creative is what, it felt like a more basic word to use. But yes, creativity, inspiration, originality, these are things that I'm seeing for you. That's so exciting. Aries energy, the full moon was in Aries. It's definitely light. It's more, I feel like there's going to be a spring in your step is what I'm hearing. Like, Aries is the baby of the zodiac. And babies, sorry, I have to say this because I actually set up a picture of my child self to focus on if my eyes wander during this reading, and I have to show you. Oh! Sorry. Look, this was me as a child, alright? I know, face reveal so early. But children are always this. Children are always original. They're lighthearted, they're free. The only time that they're not is when they're told that they need to fit in. Or when they're told and they realize, oh, I'm different, I'm, weird, I'm not normal. And then that starts to turn into insecurity a bit. So what I'm hearing is that the Aries full moon is starting to make you feel childlike again. And that you are starting to feel lighthearted and free and trust your unique way. That's so awesome. Let's continue. I'm just going to leave this, the picture side up because I think it's more fun to look at. Alright. Let's start with your tarot cards. So I have 3 cards for you. The first one is going to be what this full moon is helping you release. The second is going to be what it's helping be revealed to you. And the third is going to be how it's how to integrate it moving forward. So what needs to be reassessed? So release, reveal, reassess. Releasing the Knight of Emotions, which is the Knight of Cups. Oh, revealing Nine of Inspiration in reverse, which is Nine of Wands in reverse. And then reassess Knight of Inspiration in reverse. Okay, so we have 2 knights and this 9. Now, I am so sorry that you've been blocked. Like, I'm so sorry that you've been having trouble accessing your creative energy, because that's what's being revealed to you. 9 of Wands, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I need to make sure this is in view of the camera, but this 9 of Wands is so striking. Well, at least to me, there's just these absolute contrasting colors. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to wait to interpret anything until we have everything set up. So this is pretty interesting. All right, let's give you 3. So I have drawn 3 cards from this Moon Sprites Oracle deck, which is a indie deck that I funded on Kickstarter. And this is going to be kind of like clarifiers for you. Sorry, there's so much glare right now. Let me fix that. This is going to be like a clarification for you of, okay, cool. What, like, beings from the moon or moon sprites, you know, are kind of showing up to bring you these messages. And we have the Mermaid, the Ghost, and the Witch. Wow. Okay. Now, another indie deck that I funded on Kickstarter is called the Oracle of Great Mystics. And I'm going to bring a mystic guide who can help you. All right. Inner Wisdom. Unlearn the World. Ascension. Yeah, great. This is exactly what I was telling you. Oh my goodness. Look at the synchronicities here. This like wiggly pink coat. Oh my goodness. This is so great. Okay. I really wish that there wasn't so much glare on these cards. I'm gonna have to figure out a better light setup, of course, but this is my first time trying this, so trial and error, you know? Nothing can be perfect at first. You know what? I'll just try to, like, bring the cards up to the camera if you need to see it. I'm really sorry about that. I'll have to get a better... Okay, anyway. The final 2 cards that I have for your reading is going to be this from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. And so this is kind of going to be the physical side of things. So how can you integrate these messages from the moon? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. That was so indecent of me. I'm sorry for burping. This is how can you integrate these messages from the moon with starting with self-care practices. So the first one that you got is read. Ooh, maybe you were a reader as a child. I was a reader as a child. So maybe I'm biased, but... And nourish your temple. Okay, beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So your body is your temple, but as you can see, this person is radiating with a rainbow aura, because, you know, you can't be spiritually, psychically connected all the time without nourishing your body. And what I'm seeing is that this disconnect for you has happened in the physical plane, because this disconnect from this childlike free self that you once were happened due to emotions, happened due to your mind, your desires not matching up with your actions. What, baby? Are you bringing messages for us, baby? Come here. Come here, baby. This is my cat. Anyway, let's go back to things. So what I'm seeing is that this is something that your mind and your body are in disconnect, okay? And I struggle with this too. So I can help you kind of, I guess. No, okay. Full disclosure, I can't really help too much from experience because I'm still trying to figure this out myself. This is not, you know, something that you need to despair over. This is something that everybody struggles with when going through integration phases. This is an integration phase for you because, I mean, all I can see is just the wide array of colors throughout this reading. And I'm really trying to, like I did specifically set this out to be an intuitive reading, so I'm trying not to rely too much on, like, the meanings of the cards, etc. More, like, draw from what I'm, you know, picking up on this, on the actual, like, images in the cards. And what you're releasing, or rather what the full moon did release for you, is a negative self-doubt emotion spiral. Seen here in the Knight of Emotions. Okay, like, this shell is like Pisces, okay? Okay, sorry for that cut. I went and deleted some footage on my device to clear up some space. But this card, as I was saying, this card is making me think of Pisces. Like the spiral shell reminds me of wisdom, and the sea. Obviously, there's, you know, water splashing in this horse. Makes me think of a seahorse. As well as these fish. And seahorses are so interesting and weird. I just saw a video on them the other day, and you probably know that they're, I think, the only species in which males give live birth. So that's definitely original, right? That's nothing if not original, if they're the only species, and don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. There might be another species, but I'm pretty sure that they're the only species in which this occurs. So what I'm seeing here, and definitely with the mermaid being the moon sprite or the guide that is, you know, helping you release this, this is something having to do with emotions, with the ocean. If you have any connection to the ocean, this could be something, there could be emotions there that needed to be released. Or this could simply just be a sign that you are releasing emotions connected to what others expect from you. Because remember, this originality card is supposed to show your inner child. We're talking about the child of Aries season. Maybe you were a reader as a child. Maybe if you didn't like reading as a child, maybe you at least liked it more than you do now. But the mermaid, I can't speak French, so I'm not going to do this French pronunciation, but you see how it's it looks like the word siren. So the mermaids or the sirens, like they call out to the sailors and they would influence them, and they would influence them to crash. And then of course we have the other famous, the most famous mermaid to today's in today's world, which is Ariel of the Little Mermaid of Disney fame. Maybe she has something like, maybe you have some tie to Ariel, or maybe like because the reason I said that is because there's obviously this redheaded woman here as well who kind of looks like her. So, or you know, the first Disney version of Ariel. So maybe you have a tie to mermaids when you were a kid. Maybe this is something you were maybe embarrassed about. Maybe you wanted to be a mermaid and you're releasing the shame of, you know, what others think of what you want to do or who you want to be. Ariel, the Little Mermaid, she was determined to do what she wanted, no matter what other people thought. She didn't care that her dad was like, you have everything, you know, you're being silly, don't go talk to those humans. She knew what she wanted, and it sometimes as an adult watching something like The Little Mermaid feels so cringy because it's like, oh my gosh, she's just a teenager, she doesn't know what she's doing. It's like she really thinks she's in love with this guy, but you come to realize that most likely Eric isn't even, I mean, in the movie they make it seem like, you know, he is the reason that she wanted to be a human because she has a statue of his face, I think. But I think that Eric is more of a figure that Ariel projects her desires of being human onto, because it's deeper than, oh, I love him, so I will do anything to become like him or to be with him. It's, she wanted to be human, and he was her means of securing that. She fell in love with him, and that was her way of getting what she truly wanted deep down. And I think that's how she knew that he was the one for her. So maybe you're also being called to release emotions related to a certain person who may not be in alignment with who you are becoming. And that's somewhat further confirmed to me by the fact that these two cards, the Nine of Inspiration and the Knight of Inspiration, came up in reverse. Like, babe, like, you have no inspiration lately. Well, you might have inspiration, but you can't implement it. I mean, I feel that so hard. And, like, you see that now. I mean, it couldn't have been more obvious to you than under the full moon. We see this red, fiery imagery in these cards, contrasting, in both of them actually, contrasting with this bright teal color. So we're seeing that two contrasting things kind of exist within you at once. You can be this fiery pillar of inspiration, bringing divine truths down to humanity through art. And you may even be a medium. I mean, that is what this person is experiencing with the ghost. She's not the ghost. I actually just noticed the ghost hand on her shoulder. I thought she was the ghost. She's not the ghost. But the ghost is something that is only there for her. Because when you say that people can see ghosts, or that they, I mean, I've never personally, like, ascribed to that kind of terminology. I don't really like ghosts. I don't really go down that path of, like, thinking that people stay trapped on Earth or something like that. But I've kind of thought about the concept of ghosts existing only to the people who see them, rather than the soul itself being trapped here on earth. Like, it's more like the person on earth who was seeing the ghost, feeling the ghost, is being trapped in the stuck energy of that person's aura, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But that person is the one experiencing the ghost, not the person who's passed on. Because I honestly think that, I mean, that's just how I see it. You don't have to see it the same way, but that's how I see it. And I feel like this card is telling you, look, you can be fire. You can be communicating the divine down to earth. You can be this plasma, this thing that is not really a thing. Like, it doesn't seem like it's matter, but it's a different state of matter, you know? It's just, it is a creative force almost, or destructive force, like two sides of the same coin, fire. It can be good for the earth, and it can be harmful for the earth. It depends on the context. But, you know, we see this fire, but we also see this cold, chilling color of these, like, stone statues. They have some kind of a bridge connected between them, and this is like pillars, and there's a path from which this woman has come, and she's crossed under these statues. Oh my goodness, I just had a reminder of a book. Okay, so if you were a reader or if you weren't, if you want to get back into reading or get into reading, I'm going to suggest that the book that you pick up is The Never-Ending Story. Okay? That book has been playing on my mind lately. I want to go back and reread it, but these statues reminded me of it. There's like, I think there's like talking sphinxes in The Never-Ending Story. I can't be too certain. I was probably like 11 the last time I read it, but yeah, so she's come from a place that is fantastical, that is possibly... Oh, I'm sorry. I think that I just experienced like I think that my iPad that's recording this just froze up, so sorry if you didn't hear what I was saying. I was talking about The Never-Ending Story, and I was describing how this woman has come from, you know, a path of hardship, and she's in the sand. She's walking in the sand, and it's making me think of the scene in The Never-Ending Story, which is about halfway through, and the main character that we've been following all this time, becomes the character in the book that he's reading. And everywhere around him, there's these shifting sand dunes that are all these different colors. And this is just like a fever dream for me to remember reading this book. I'm telling you, if you've never read it, this book is a literary masterpiece. And I'm telling you that despite the fact that I have not read it for probably half of my life. So anyway, after that little tangent, I wanted to say that so far, your media inspirations to look to are The Little Mermaid, The Never-Ending Story. Alright, and so I'm gonna move on. So, what you're here to reassess, or what do we reassess now? Now that we know what the moon is kind of reminding you, bringing to your awareness, which you've always known. You've always known you were an artist, okay? But, so let's reassess, okay? Night of Inspiration. Firework. Okay, so I'm hearing spontaneous energy. I'm hearing you need to be going at a full gallop now. You know what's so funny? I just watched a video about horses too. Like literally like this morning or last night. And it was about the gait of horses and how they animate them in video games and how it's really, really difficult to animate horses in video games, apparently. And that's how I know that this horse is galloping. Because I learned about the 3 natural canters of a horse. Is that what it's called? No. A canter is a specific one. It's the 3 natural gaits of a horse. The walk, the trot, the gallop. I'm proud of myself. I've never been a horse girl, but I know that now. So this horse is galloping, okay? So reassess reassess how you're spending your energy when you are being spontaneous. Because what I'm hearing is that you are losing a lot of energy due to a lack of intentionality. The witch here, she's telling you that you need to meditate. Like, you need to go back, figure out who you are, look at these old media that you might have used to love. Like, go back, if the Little Mermaid, if the Never-Ending Story, if that does not sound like it resonates with you, if that sounds boring, if you don't like those things, what did you love as a child? What media did you enjoy? When I say media, I don't mean like the kind of media that they make for today for kids that's literally just to distract kids. I mean, like, what kind of things did you love learning about the lore, or you loved seeing a new episode every time it came out, or reading the same book over and over and over again? You need to be more intentional with the way that you are using your creative power, because you have so much and it's going to waste because you are exhausting yourself, burning yourself out, going at a full gallop. The fireworks are popping off, babe, but like, do you know like how expensive fireworks are? Do you know how much energy is used up for the one firework? Okay, imagine you have a bunch of friends. You invite them over for the 4th of July, and they're like, cool, can't wait. We can't wait to have fun, shoot off fireworks, blah, blah, blah. And then they show up, and they learn, and they don't bring anything with them, but they learn that you spent all your money for one firework, right? Just one, just that one. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's all right, I guess. And so you shoot it off, and it, it's not a dud. I mean, it pops, it makes a spectacular display, but then it's gone. And your friends are like, okay, so, all right, I guess we could have brought more if we knew that you were only gonna buy one firecracker, but now all the shops are closed, and that was kind of that. I guess that, cool. So this is what you've been doing? You've been running at full gallop when you've been asked to walk. You're burning yourself out, babe. Like, you know what's so funny is I never call people babe. Like, that's not me. But I just feel like I need to establish that I'm not attacking you, because I feel like you might be sensitive, and this is not something that you need to feel negatively about. What's up, baby? He's begging me to feed him. I'll feed you in a bit, okay? I'll feed him in a bit. I will nourish his temple. I don't starve my cat, okay? I fed him like... I think you probably know how cats are so manipulative. Anyway, so this one's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but, I mean, I think you needed this reminder because it's like, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. Like, I can't function if I don't have my meds, if I don't eat my food and drink water. Like, I know, but, like, it's so easy to just not do those things if you're somebody who experiences a lot of psychic downloads, or if you're somebody who experiences a lot of artistic vision. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the upwards channeling, the connecting upwards, never connecting downward, never rooting. And this inner wisdom card, it says unlearn the world, ascension. I mean, definitely, you need to unlearn what the world is telling you about who you are and how your abilities should be put to use. You need to be definitely retreating from outside influences right now to find yourself, because you are very influenced by the others that are around you, and you may not even be fully aware of this. Like, you need to protect your own emotional energy, and the way that you're going to do that is by reading and nourishing your temple. All right? So I'm going to finish off this message by reading to you from the guidebook of the Great Mystics Oracle, or the Oracle of the Great Mystics, because this is just like, honestly, I think I am just so blown away by the quality of this deck, and I really want to give a shout out to the creators, because this was a phenomenal deck. I've had I've started purchasing a couple Kickstarters over the past year or so, but this one just like, it's just so beautiful. So here's the box. It's like, you can see it's a sturdy box. So it was written by Mona Moon, illustrated by Myths and Art. And here's their website, medicinthebrand.com, if you want to check them out. So shout out to those creators. Also, this deck has copper gilding. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And it's not the kind of gilding that rubs off either. Okay. So I'm going to read you this. Oh, look, I just flipped to it. Okay. Inner wisdom. To be within yourself is to know yourself. Being yourself is not enough to know and to enter the fortress of your mind. The gates must be open to you before they can be open to others. Love and acceptance can only come from within, and it must be accessible. The material plane is an obstacle, and you must think beyond it, for inner wisdom is only possible when the outer and the physical are abandoned. Okay, so that's really funny because that's like literally the opposite of the advice that I was giving to you. But I think that's because what you need to do is you need to do these things separately. So you need to channel. I can see that for you. You need to channel. That's something that you need. You need to be able to connect to the upward without being in your body. But you have to ground. Like, you cannot just do one thing and not the other. You have to ground yourself before, after, whatever. Whenever you are only channeling upward, then there's really kind of no point of being here at all. Because if you are completely abandoning your body at all times, that's just not good. Sorry, like, it's just not. But we are going to take the wisdom from this card, not dismiss it, of course. And so I think this is definitely showing you how you need to do that on the one hand in order to truly honor your own self and your inner wisdom. But that, at the end of the day, you do need to go back and ground yourself. Anyway. So, in this state, you must forget all you have learned. Forget those who nurtured you. Forget fear and pain. Forget loss and love, and hold that inner you in your hands. That you are untouched. Now throw it away. That is not you. You are all experience and memory, a tapestry of those who have loved you, a woven garment whose pressure and warmth have turned you into a gem of self. That is you, the truest you, with all the pain and suffering, and all the love and joy as well. Okay. So I should have just kept going, okay? Without stopping in the middle to explain stuff to you, because they kind of pulled a fast one on me there. Like, they were like, no, think beyond the material plane. Then they're like, no, stop it. You are material. You are your experiences. So it's saying exactly what my advice was. Channel upwards, connect to the divine, ascend. But always remember that you, on this earth, are experiencing a human life. You are your experiences, your memories, the people who have raised you. You are your physical self. And you need a reminder because, I mean, look at Ariel, look at the mermaid. It's like, she kind of exists in a fantasy world until she doesn't. Like, what I mean by that is not that mermaids are fantastical, because that's kind of obvious, but what I mean is Ariel lives in this fantasy world of humans until she makes it real, physically. But you had not been getting to that point yet. You have been blocked. So, pile one, I'm going to leave this here for you. I have been enlightened by looking into what you're going through, and I am so excited for you to finally start bringing these wonderful, spiritual, artistic, creative, original, personal things into the world in your personal way, because that is what an artist is. An artist is channeling, and artist is channeling the divine or the spiritual, the metaphysical, the, you know, these abstract things that we cannot grasp into the physical. That is what an artist is, and that is what you are, pile one. You are an artist. You are a channel of the divine, but you are in the physical plane. So just remember that, and I hope that these messages from the full moon in Aries on October 9th, 2022 have been helpful and beneficial to you. If you enjoyed this reading, please like it. Please subscribe to me. I will be so excited to have new people in my soul family, cohort, what have you, to learn and experience things from. After all of us are projecting all of the time, and we learn to know ourselves through our experience with others. Thank you so much for joining my channel, Peridot Projections. I hope to see you soon again. Bye! Hi, Pile 2. Your reading, as well as Pile 3's reading, are most likely going to be quite different from Pile 1's. That's because I am recording this on a completely new day. And if any of y'all watching have ADHD, I don't even need to explain why. But that's okay. Because on my channel, I do things on my timing, okay? I'm not going to apologize to you guys if I, you know, upload things on a schedule that is unpredictable, because that is absolutely what I'm going to do. Sorry, I need a sip of water. Much better. Hydrate or dihydrate, as one of my very good friends would say. You know what? I have a feeling that good friend might be here with me right now, but I'm not gonna project. Just kidding, I am. This is my projection channel, okay? Duh. Peridot Projections. Peridot. I mean, come on, guys. I had to include some Peridot, right, on the first video of the channel. Gorgeous. I love the luster of this gem. I don't know what kind of luster this is. I don't know if it's waxy. That's totally a guess, by the way. I am not a geologist. I'm just fascinated with crystals. All right, let's begin. So, you chose the Kunzite. Again, let me try to focus this again. I do not have the most photogenic hands or fingers, but that's all right. Again, I work in the food service industry, and that is probably something I'm going to mention quite a lot. But here's your Kunzite. This iPad is struggling. Okay, there we go. Kunzite. And you chose, let's see, okay, you chose the Luna Soul Tarot. All right, so for your significator, I don't know, dang it, I knew that was gonna happen. I should have turned this around. Okay, maybe that would have been better. All right, not on the, oh my god. Also, you can see the hairs, suspicious looking hairs of my cat, Voodoo. So, I mean, maybe you like a cat. Cats, maybe you're a cat person. I hope you're a cat person, because there's a cat on the card, and then there's cat hair all over my black cloth. All right, I sat up and looked at the camera right at when it was 333. So there's a synchronicity for you guys. You got 333. All right, let's see if 3 shows up again. 3 is a crowd. I'm hearing 3 is a lucky number, a magic number. All right, let's see what is on the back of this card that you were drawn to. Innovation. Have fun and experiment, inventing something that surprises and has never existed before. Why is the iPad having so much trouble? I think it's because of the glare and how okay, one second. I think I positioned the lamp in a very wrong way today. And if you are get annoyed with some people who like mess around with their equipment while they're filming, well, this is my first video for the channel, alright? And I'm sure I'm going to get much better at it. Alright, that already looks immediately better. So, apparently the way I had my lamp set up for pile 1's video was already good, and I didn't need to mess with it. So, let's see. Let's see what your tarot cards for this most recent moon cycle, or I guess whatever's occurred for you since the Aries full moon. Page of Wands. Ooh, okay. Innovation, all right. 10 of Wands reversed, and Knight of Discs reversed. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Y'all, okay. I don't know why I sound so southern right now. And, guys, forgive me, okay? I have not partaken in any substances, okay? Keyword, not. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I'm such a... Okay. Anyway, Page of Wands. So, here we see this... It's giving Joseph, okay? It's giving Joseph in the coat of many colors, right? So, you may have come from a religious background. You might know the story. Is it Joseph? Is it Joseph? Now I'm second guessing myself. 555. I just saw 555. 555. Innovation. Wait. 5 is a number of change. All right. So innovation, change, something new. So so regardless of who this is meant to be, is it David? Is it Joseph? No, David is David and Goliath. See, it's crazy the fact that I've been out of the Catholic Church for, let's see, like literally, like, I've only been officially out of the Catholic Church for, like, a year and a half is when I, like, fully decided I was done, but I kind of clung on to the faith for a little while, but it was really pushed to the back of my mind. I've not gone to church in about, like, 5 years now, though, so I have forgotten some things about Bible stories, but, Joseph in the many colors, now I feel like I'm going crazy, he was a favorite, right? And his brothers hated him. And, I mean, he just did his thing anyway, right? And he was also a dream interpreter. And he was in prison when he was interpreting the dreams. And you know what's so wild is that today, I was trying to interpret a dream of mine that I had last night. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's my business, but, like, I don't remember my dreams, y'all. Like, I do not remember my dreams. And today, I specifically looked up the meaning of a symbol that I saw in my dream last night. So, you need to pay attention to your dreams, okay? You're going to get an idea for an innovation. It's going to come from your dreams. All right, so this full moon has brought, maybe you started dreaming a lot lately, all right? Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down. 10 of Wands in reverse is amazing. Look, the suffering, the burden, it's gone, okay? Or you've learned how to deal with it, you know? Or it's not so bad anymore. Here we have the Knight of Discs in reverse. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting where the camera is. It's like in the bottom right-hand corner of my iPad, so I need to like put it closer like that. All right. So Knight of Discs. We have, trying to see how close up I can get, but well, I can't really tell what's on his map. But he's holding fire in his hand. He's sitting on a bowl, which of course I'm thinking of someone really stubborn, right? Someone really... Okay. Don't know how long my iPad just froze up on the audio, but the video froze up for a couple seconds. This card is a card of someone who's really stuck to one idea, okay? He's elevated it above anything else. He's sitting on the bowl, which represents Taurus, which is stubborn, all right? I know it's a stereotype, but, I mean, come on. Don't tell me that bowl does not look stubborn. Or buffalo, my bad. Sorry, it looks like a bull to me, okay? It's a buffalo. I don't know. Is it? I'm second guessing myself again. See, terminology, y'all, okay? That's a mind thing. And what I'm picking up on is maybe you are also struggling with not knowing certain things and wanting to be right. And like me just now, in this instance where I forgot 2 things I was trying to reference, you might be kind of insecure about it, okay? When you don't know something, when someone wants to know your opinion, because I think people do want to know your opinion about things, but when people want to know your opinion, you may say something instinctively, you know, which is using your intuition because you're just speaking from the heart, but then as soon as you say it, you might feel horrible and be like, oh my gosh, I need to, oh my god, like, and you realize that what you said might have sounded dumb, or that you might have sounded like you don't know what you're talking about, or that, you know, maybe someone has a different opinion from you, and so you don't want to upset them, and that is what you need to stop. Like, cut it out, okay? If you need to, verbalize it, okay? Like, if you need to find a way to, like, get these thoughts out of your head while you're ruminating, because I think that's something called, like, post-event rumination or something like that, where you say something. It could even be as simple as just saying one thing, and then immediately you second guess yourself, like, oh, did I say that wrong? And so that's just a little detour, because I was noticing myself do that twice already, and I was like, okay, wait, I need to bring up this advice. But yeah, as far as the card goes, this guy is definitely very, 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 very stuck on his position. And this is reversed. So you have recently, you realize with the full moon that you're ready to, you know, give up some ground give up some literal ground. Like, they're ready to just go boom now. So, like, literally you can give up some ground on something that maybe you've been kind of stubborn on and you didn't want to accept. And maybe you realize that it was just kind of silly and you feel embarrassed, and, you know, the burden is lifted, and the burden of keeping things to yourself, you know, the burden, because, like, look, I know this 10 of Wands, like, I know Wands don't always necessarily represent, like, the mental, like, rumination realm or air, because people tend to associate Wands with fire, but I mean, it can feel like fire in your face or when you experience shame, right? Because I've recently started to try to observe my feelings more when they come up, because I'm trying not to identify with my feelings, right? And, you know, if Wands are kind of our impulsive, like, fiery, like, you know, like, feelings that are, like, you know, unstable, or something that we take on, a burden that we take on that maybe we wanted to believe we were ready for, but it's just, like, you know, become really heavy. Yeah, sorry, I definitely lost my train of thought there, but it's not important, because, like, you're ready to innovate. Like, you've realized that you just want to be lighter. You don't have to always be right, and so you don't always have to either correct yourself or be worrying that people were, you know, judging you or thinking that you were wrong. Like, 'cause, like, most of the time you're right, you know? Like, you have a very strong mind, you're very sharp-witted, and you are also sensitive. The sensitivity is showing in the fact that this is Wands and Discs, you know? Like, it's fire and earth here. Like, you have a groundedness to you that you are sensitive to people's struggles and feelings and everything, but your mind gets in the way. Like, you have a great mind, but that's the problem. Like, sometimes I feel like maybe humans would just be better if we, like, devolved. Like, I'm not, like, you know, trying to, like, start a war or something, but, like, I feel like if we just didn't have such good brains, maybe we would be happier. And, you know, sometimes you just gotta tell yourself to cut it off. Like, stop worrying that you said something wrong, or, you know, because, like, that's going to stop you from being able to see what's in front of you, first of all. Like, for example, your dreams, like, literally your actual literal dreams, but also the ones that you want to realize. Like, you won't be able to detail them when you're too worried about, like, stuff that's already passed, because innovation is about moving on, right? Building something stable. Anyway, I have been rambling on the tarot cards, and we haven't even gotten to, like, most of your, we haven't even gotten to, like, most of your reading yet. So let's leave this out as a significator. I'm gonna scooch this stuff over. This is really, this incense is, it keeps dropping on the black, so I'm gonna turn it around so that it drops on the orange. I probably should have done that before, but, like, maybe I should have, I should really just have an ashtray for it. But I don't feel like getting that right now. It's totally fine. I'll just clean it off later. Anyway, and that's something that you need to hear, I think. I think that's something you needed to hear too. Cause you see what I just did? Like, you might not have seen, but, like, cause you might not really know me so well. It depends on who was watching this. But, like, for a second, I thought about getting up and putting something else down. Actually, in fact, you know what I can do? Look, I'm about to innovate here, guys. Look, oh my gosh. God, y'all. Look, I'm like so fucking proud of myself right now. I'm gonna have to bleep that. Dang it. Yeah. I just innovated. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I can even move it over to black now so you can see it. Now we have an ashtray. And this is Menolite. This was, I don't know, it was just like an extra I had on hand. So I'm going to move it like that, maybe. We'll have this and... Perfect. Okay, okay. Maybe I'll just put this back, like, up here. Because it's kind of similar shape to the mushrooms here. Okay. Oh, I love that. I love it. See, innovation. That's how innovation works, my friend. That was in the moment. That was an innovation of our beautiful set here. Because if I had gotten up to go get an ashtray of sorts, if I had been like, oh, what in my house can I use for an ashtray? A plate? Oh, it's too big. No. A little piece of paper towel? No, that's tacky. Like, if I had done that, I would not be able to have seen what was right in front of me. This, like, sorry, I don't need to be so obvious. I mean, I think you got the point. This is what was right in front of me. But, alright, let's continue. This is why my channel is called Peridot Projections. I just project everything onto you, alright? But we all project, right? We're all projectors in different ways, different manners. But when we can recognize where we're projecting onto others in our life, it actually makes us much more powerful. Okay, to harness those projections. Alright, so I'm about to turn over these Moon Sprites cards, which was a Kickstarter that I backed. They're very beautiful. Okay, so first card to correspond with the Page of Wands is the Mirror. Ooh, 43. Okay, that's a pretty important number for me. Let me explain in a second. And to correspond with the 10 of Wands in reverse, we have the Peacock. Interesting. Okay, I'm really definitely getting a feel for this. Okay. Okay, and to correspond with the Knight of Discs in reverse, we have the Faunus. Faunus. Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce the French. Okay. But, okay, my hand is shaky. All right. That is, wow, I love it. Love her, the Faunus. Okay, cool. Wow. I love this so much. So much. Okay. Page of Wands with the Mirror. Well, this is very... Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to turn things around. Like, reverse your expectations of how you normally do things. Wow, fell on the side. Okay, readjustment here. Maybe as it gets closer, it's not going to work so well, but, yeah, you're just going to have to reverse your expectations and, When it says look in the mirror, I honestly think that, like, the whole dream reflection, dream journaling thing makes a lot of sense. I'm also thinking about, like, Snow White and the evil queen who looks in the mirror and she's like, who's the fairest of them all? And then she just starts to get so envious, so resentful, and that she's looking past who she is, which is what she would have seen in the mirror if she wasn't asking it to show her someone else. And I mean, isn't this what we do all the time? Most of us, like, staring at Instagram, being like, I just hate myself. I just want to look at somebody else that's hotter than me, or whatever it may be. I mean, not all of us might do that, but some of us do, or have struggled with that in the past. And even if you're not literally doing that on Instagram, even if you're too cool for Instagram and you're on other better apps like TikTok or whatever. I don't have TikTok, but I'm just saying what I think most people think. But even if you're not doing that, I mean, it's still easy to compare yourself to people wherever you are, in real life, whatever. But as you can see on this card, like, compared to the next one, the interesting thing is the moon is not only, like, flipped horizontally, it's actually flipped, like, completely opposite the plane of the cards. So it's like you can see behind it to the other side of the moon, the dark side of the moon. And that's what I think this mirror now. Okay, now I'm noticing this is actually outer space. This is just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. I haven't even explained the 43 yet, but, like, this is outer space and we're seeing the dark side of the moon. Okay, you gotta look at your dark side, all right? And that is what you will do at night and the next day when you wake up and you learn to interpret your dreams, all right? Start to do that. You're gonna start to release these burdens, and especially the burden of being perfect, okay? The burden of being the showiest of all, because, like, you know, when you're worried so much about comparing yourself to others, especially your physical appearance, all right? Because that's what the peacock is representing, right? Physical appearance too. As well as, you know, showiness, or, like, worried about having, and it's not even necessarily that you are, like, an arrogant person. Like, you don't have to be, you know, always showing off and, like, thinking that you look better than everyone or wanting to look better than everyone. It's maybe just that you know, have a certain visual persona that you try to keep up, and you feel down when you don't match that persona, or when you're not recognized for the effort, I guess, it takes to maintain that persona. Okay, anyway, Knight of Discs in reverse, and then the Faunus is telling me that now that you've let go of that burden of being perfect in your physical appearance, you don't even care about having this coat of many colors, right? You will just go nude, right? Because you realize that you are enough. Just you. Yeah, just you. Just like this nude Faunus holding a violin or viola. I don't know. No, it's a violin. It's too small to be a viola. And a bow. Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at her horn up close. Wait, that was a really weird way to say that. Please don't mind me. I'm just off the cuff, all right? It's been 23 minutes. The pile 1 was 35, so I think I'm going to try to stick to that. So we kind of rushed through the rest of the cards at this point, but... Okay. Here we have 3 more cards for you today. The first one is going to be from this Oracle of Great Mystics, which is another one of the Kickstarters that I backed. It's just, oh, I love it so much. And I'm pretty sure I, like, you know, showed the back and everything on the last pile. So I'm going to do the same here. I'll show you what the inside looks like. Mona Moon, written by Mona Moon, illustrated by Myths and Art, Oracle of Great Mystics, and this is the back of the cards. They're very gorgeous, as well as them having, like, copper, shiny copper gilding. It's really nice. Okay, so let's see what you got. Pile 2. Ooh, two. I also just realized that, like, you're the pile of, like, duality. You know, the extremes, like, yeah. Needing to be the best, feeling like the worst. Okay. So, you got, sorry, showing the back first. Light Cave. Light Cave. Ooh, this is such an interesting card. I don't know if I've actually noticed this one before in the deck, but I haven't really bonded with the deck that much. It's just, ooh, it's just so gorgeous. Illusion and diversity. See, this is having a really difficult time focusing on this card or knowing what to focus on because it's so, there's so much contrast. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, that's a little bit better with more indirect lighting. Illusion and diversity, multitudes within. And I do not, I mean, I may have to inspect it a little bit closer, but I do not see any living beings on this card. I only see the cave, the moon in the background, the mountains, and the light. And I think that's just a very peaceful yet mysterious, spooky thing because it says illusion and diversity, multitudes within. So there's nothing on the outside, but apparently not all is as it seems. There's diversity and multitudes within. Okay. So, I'm not totally sure how this applies, but I think that it's going to be something along the lines of that there is just so much that you have not yet explored actually in your psyche. But I would actually like to do a clarifying pull for that, so I'm going to use my first tarot deck that I ever got, which is the Medicine Woman Tarot, and I'm just so bonded with this deck. I love it so much. So I'm just going to draw one card to clarify the Light Cave Oracle as how it, just to make sure that, let's see, that's something along the lines of what you haven't yet explored within yourself. Oh, by the way, here's what the cards look like, and I'm shuffling them for you. Okay, let's actually. Okay, this one, yeah. Six of Bowls. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the Six of Cups. This is definitely you finding your inner child. Absolutely. The Six of Cups I always think of as either the siblings card or, oh, as I was shuffling, like, this card just started, like, coming out. I'm gonna pull it for you as well. Oh, that's so beautiful. Rebirth. Oh, that's so beautiful. The cat, the dog, the baby, the parents, but especially the sunrise and the trees is what is so beautiful for me. Yes, this is the sun card, okay? This is what is going to light you up. This is what's going to light you up. The sun, the light cave. And then you see the sun setting here. But, like, you might have thought the sun has set on your childhood and, like, maybe, like, who you grew up with, who you used to be. But you need to find it again because, like, I mean, connecting with any past family members that you may be comfortable with, like, I understand not everybody comes from a good family, but if there's anybody in your childhood who was like a family connection to you, you need to reach out to those people. Like, you don't have to when I say you need to, you don't have to do it immediately, but at least reach out to them with your heart. Like, if you're not in contact with them, if you don't feel comfortable getting in contact with these people again, you need to at least draw back on these experiences because that's going to help you experience a rebirth and, like, break open this cave, this light cave, and it's going to turn night into day, okay? So night into day, I don't know why I'm speaking with this, like, fake Canadian accent. I mean, I don't know, like, I sounded so southern first. I was like, y'all, and then I was like, night into day, day. Now I can't even do it anymore. Now that just goes to show that I genuinely don't know what's, like, like what my I really don't know what my voice like sounds like. I hate listening to my voice played back afterwards, but because I'm always like, oh, I sound so like weird and different every single time I talk. But the sun, the light cave, rebirth, it's so just so beautiful. See, I just love this deck so much. And the last two cards that I'm going to pull for you, well, I've already pulled them, but they are Sacred Self-Care Practices from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. And this is, I mean, this is just easily like one of the easiest, one of the like most accessible, I should say, like oracle decks that I feel like I've seen on the market to just pick up. Because when I say most accessible, I mean it's when you pick this deck up, I feel like anybody could get use from it. It might not be your art style, but like the self-care practices that they suggest, a lot of them are really nice. Okay, anyway, I am not an advertisement for this deck. I just like to show off decks I like. Okay. First one, self-care practices, deep breathing. Okay, I just did this actually. I was just doing yoga before I started this reading, and it really is so good for centering yourself. Like, I say centering, I mean being in yourself. You're not in your thoughts anymore, because your thoughts aren't you. Your feelings aren't you. You are something which is impossible to put a finger on. You can't define it because definitions are the mental realm. And this, remember, your mind will get very, very anxious, will make you anxious. Okay, I needed to take a deep breath myself because I was starting to get anxious feeling it. Your mind will make you anxious when you get caught up in the spiral. And look, you've left, it's reminding me of the song, wait a minute. I can't sing right now, wait a minute. I think I left my conscience in the sixth dimension. Okay, so this is you. That was the worst singing I've done all day, and I don't care. I'm gonna be vulnerable for y'all because, like, believe it or not, I actually like singing. But, okay. The sixth dimension. That's you. Remember, I have not partaken of any substances. Okay. I actually need water, though. That singing just proved to me that I need to drink some water right now. Okay. Next self-care practice. I'm going to stop making a full fool of myself. Okay. I mean, okay, was I onto something or was I onto something? Because I have not sung at all yet in this reading or the last one. So, seriously, like, and I didn't look at these cards before. I know I was, like, messing around with them, like, outside of the view of the camera, but, like, I have not looked at okay, I have not looked at these cards. And you know what? If you ask me, like, to prove that, no. If you want proof, like, leave the video, babe. Like, this is not for you. Because I'm not going to prove that. I can't prove that. That's impossible, okay? Deep breathing, sound healing. Okay? Deep breathe. Breathe deeply, while you're doing your sound healing or whatever. It doesn't have to be sound bowls like this. You can just listen to music, even if that's healing for you. But if you're listening to music, do something else to make it an actual healing experience rather than just, having your earbuds in while you, are at school or something like that, or at work or something. Because, like, those are environments where you're not really tuning into the healing, I guess, properties of the sound. You're kind of just using it to distract yourself. So if you normally use music to distract yourself, this is something that you're gonna need to make it a little bit different. So you're gonna have to either do this if that's your thing, like set up these sound bowls and hit them with the things and go ooh, how it does the thing. Ooh. I used to play handballs actually for a bit, so I actually remember, like, I did that a bit with, like, the rim of these giant bells. They would be like, but, like, that was only for, like, one concert, because in reality, I played the high pitch bells, but I didn't like them. I liked the low ones, and, like, this deep breathing, when you breathe deeply, they usually call it in music, like they say it's, you know, you're breathing into your belly, or you're making your belly puff out or something like that. I mean, you're not actually breathing into your belly. You're breathing into your lungs, but when you breathe deeply, it feels like you're breathing and you're filling up your whole belly, and it just expands, and then the tension is all there, you know, rather than in the shoulders or anything. And that's what grounds you, because the energy is like physically lower in your body. And if you're doing sound healing, do try to do some stuff, like try to focus on these like lower tones. I mean, I even, when I set up for this video and the last pile, like I've just picked the same song as I did for the last pile, but I have, okay, this is really affecting the focus. Okay, is that better? Yes, I guess, I don't know. But for the last pile and for this pile, I'm playing this background song, or frequencies, 432. 432 hertz is what the video is called. One of my pet peeves is when videos are titled like that, because it's not just one frequency that's playing, but they name it after one frequency. But with that aside, with the title of the video aside, because it's a copyright-free like background thing, 4-3, didn't I say? Okay, yeah, 4-3. That 432 is the number of the video, but yeah, so that's relatively in the lower range actually of the human speaking / singing voice. So you are gonna want to be doing, if you're listening to music, you're going to be wanting to pick songs that are lower in your range, so you can hum along to them or sing along to them, whatever you feel comfortable starting with. It depends on, you know, whether you like singing, whether you're a musician or whatever. But, you know, if you're uncomfortable doing this around people, then do it while you're alone, because that's going to heal you. I have actually literally done this myself. I have healed my body using deep breathing and sound healing. Through laying in the bathtub, singing along to music and humming. And like, I was almost too weak to do that, but doing it gave me strength and also calmed my belly, because the bath was very hot, so I could relax my muscles, because humming along to this music that was much lower in my range, because while I was humming and lower down in my range, I could feel the notes in my chest, in my stomach, in my belly, as I filled up with air and I let it release. And it, believe it or not, because I normally speak in this tone, right? This very annoying to my mind forward tone, which I literally just watched a video on, which is the 3 timbres of voices, which is husky, brassy, and fluty. And apparently I have a brassy timbre in my voice. So it annoys me because it's very forward when I talk, very pinched, kind of almost sounding sometimes. But if I lower my voice like this and I speak in this part of my voice, that's a husky voice. And you need to be you need to be activating your throat chakra, which is, you know, which is what the sound healing is for. You need to be activating and healing your throat chakra. Sorry if this is not a, you know, term that resonates with you, or if you don't like my use of the term. You can use the words, you know, energy center, whatever you like to say. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my normal voice now, because that was quite actually taxing on my voice. But if I want to invoke a little more power to my tone, I can bring some of that huskiness into my voice. And my pinched normal voice, which I normally just talk to like this, I resort to talking like this because this is my actual, like, this is what I just talk like normally. But if I bring some of the huskiness into it, it sounds a little bit more powerful. It commands some attention. And you are going to be practicing activating that energy center in your actual throat. Because when you use that husky quality to your voice, it gives it a little bit, you can actually feel it in your throat. And I know the timbre of my voice has been changing frequently throughout this entire video, but that's because I am literally also just focusing on how my throat is resonating so much more right now when I am consciously remembering to bring some of the huskiness in. And I feel like it has so much more power. Like, I feel like I can exert more of an effect on the listener when I just have a little bit of that quality in my voice. And that's what you need. You need to be actually feeling your voice in your throat and in your chest and in your belly. That's what the deep breathing is for as well. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I love this reading for you so much because if you employ these techniques, this is going to be your light cave moment, okay? Like, thank you, pile 2. Thank you. And I just saw a little blue flash in this kunzite, I think, when it was on the ground. Am I crazy? No, I saw it, I swear. Thank you, pile 2. Thank you, kunzite. Thank you, innovation card number 13. Have fun and experiment, inventing something that surprises and has never existed before, okay? Using your throat, using your voice. That might not be what you have normally thought of as your power, but you're gonna have to implement it a little bit more, okay? It's gonna help you relieve these burdens. It's gonna help you when you verbalize, when you practice these sound healing and these verbalizing and these resonating techniques, because that's what it is too, is a practice in using resonance, okay? And I can say that as someone who's, been lucky enough to take private voice lessons at a university setting before. Yeah, this is a study of resonance, and you need to learn how to utilize it a little bit more for yourself in your life, because currently a lot is like you're holding back a lot, and it's just keeping you from being able to really see what your power is, see what your strength is, see where you can, kind of relieve yourself by not being so stubborn, not holding on to this, to this fear of, comparison, not being perfect. Like, all of this stuff is going to be easier when you practice these techniques and integrate them into your life. And and what you're gonna do, if you're meditating while you're doing the sound healing, while you're doing the deep breathing, you're gonna be thinking about this, right? The people that make you feel comfortable and relaxed, because when you're relaxed, your stomach, meaning like all of your organs that are actually in your belly area, your belly area is going to loosen up, okay? You are not going to feel, and I just saw 43:34. I looked up at the time and I saw 43:34. Mirror, right? Like, I kid you not. 43:34, right? And this is when you're meditating on these things that light you up, on the inside, the people from your past, the people, doesn't have to be actual family members, but the people that make you feel like your inner child is lighting up. These, and the things as well, because like he's also crafting. So the hobbies and the people from your past, these things, they are going to, help you relieve this burden, help you feel like you don't have to look perfect, you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to worry about what you said if it was wrong, you don't have to cover up every physical imperfection. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a very comprehensive reading in a sense. Like, it was very easy because it was just so clear. I do feel a little bit bad for pile 1 in the sense that it's going to be a little bit shorter probably than these two piles, but I think everyone who watches pile 1 or watches pile 2, and I haven't filmed pile 3 yet, but I mean, I haven't even looked at the cards, obviously, but anyone who watches pile 3, I think will all have a beautifully tailored experience. Because I say I feel bad for pile 1 having a 10-minute shorter reading, but pile 1 might be the person who would not want to listen to 45 minutes, and maybe you are a person who does want to listen to 45 minutes. That is why, everything does not need to be apologized for. You got to see innovation in action here. When I dumped out these gems, like, if I had gotten up and worried, oh, I need an ashtray, I never would have seen a solution in front of my face, alright, guys? And that's what you've been doing to yourself, okay? You've been so worried. Oh, I do see the blue flash now. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It is right in this spot. Yes! Yes. You see it? Right there? Yeah. Okay. So this is pile 2. This is, you can loosen up. Practice these things, these self-care practices. This is going to be really helpful for you to loosen up, and I'm really hopeful and happy for you too. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for letting me experience some things about you through my projections. And remember, we're all projecting all of the time, and it only helps us to be aware of it and how our projections may or may not be accurate. But I've learned a lot with you, hopefully, and from you as well. So thank you, pile 2, and hopefully I'll see you back on my channel. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you would like to see more from me, and it will only encourage me to fight against the ADHD struggles. So bye. Hi, pile 3. I'm super excited to film you guys' reading today. Thank you for joining me. I have, as you might expect, already filmed pile 1 and pile 2. However, I have filmed all of them at different times. I did film pile 2 earlier today, but right now it's actually nighttime while I'm filming this. Wednesday night, the 12th of October. I filmed pile 2's reading earlier today, but it was quite different and a bit longer from pile 1 that was filmed a couple days ago. For example, pile 1 there was like an accidental like cut in the middle. You know what, I don't really need to describe the ways that pile 2 was different, but I did forget one thing in pile 2 that makes it different, and I did something differently in pile 1. So what I'm saying is, pile 3, your pile is the one that feels the most like, you kind of have some kind of wisdom, like you already know what's going on or something, because like, I mean, let's face it, I'm the one that knows what's going on, more of what's going on than you do right now. But like, I just feel like, much more laid back with you already than I've felt with the other 2 piles, because I've already filmed the other 2 piles. So, we're just, now I know that each one of these piles is going to have something different to it, something that makes it unique, and that means to me that there's probably going to be 3 different unique profiles of people. Okay, that didn't make sense. As I said in pile 2, I have not partaken in any substances of any variety. No way. To help me channel? No way. No, absolutely not. Okay, so. Sorry, that made me sound like. Anyway, so pile 3. Before I started your reading, I was hearing some songs. Well, let me tell you, I was hearing some songs from the Muppets, and the first song that was in my head for some reason, and I keep hearing it, is this song from the Muppets Take Manhattan, and it's a song that was on a compilation CD that I had in my house as a kid, And there's this one part of the song where these little babies and these old grandmas are singing. And the reason I thought of this song is, I don't know why, but I was associating it. Well, I don't know if this card was making me think of the song, but when I was singing this song in my head, I glanced down at this card while I was setting up for this reading. And I saw it, the little baby, you know, the little baby cat. The kind of young cheetah, leopard, I don't know. And then this older wild cat. And I heard this song. The song, it's like, and in this part of the song where Kermit and Piggy, Miss Piggy, are at the altar, basically, and they're singing this really serious, little sappy love song, and these little babies in the pews of the church are like, days go passing into years, and the old ladies are like, years go passing day by day. I don't know. This just made me think of that. And I actually sang in a little bit for the last pile, and it was absolutely horrendous. So if you get any more singing from me, it's probably going to be pretty bad. But that song is actually called Happy. It sounds like a sad song, but they're singing about how they make each other happy, and they want to hold each other through all their years, and I just think that's really sweet. And I'm thinking that the theme for you, pile 3, is happiness today, because immediately after I listened to that song, I listened to it again to jog my memory, because it had popped in my head, right? So I was singing it, and I was like, I want to hear this song from this movie. I haven't heard this song in a long time, so I went to look it up, and I was like, oh, it's called Happy. And then, of course, there's another song called Happy, or rather called Life's a Happy Song, which is from another Muppets movie, which is a lot more recent. It was actually made after Disney acquired the rights to the Muppets, but that's irrelevant, sorry. Anyway, this movie is like has now been an influence for half of my life, which is so weird to say because this movie came out in 2011. I mean, it's 2022 now, and I was born in 2000. I mean, I think you can do the math, but anyway, sorry, pile 3. Okay, pile 3. That was a disgusting, wet sounding clap. All right, let's begin your actual reading now. Pile 3, thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me warm up my speech, get more comfortable with you before I begin the actual reading. And if you skipped that rambling intro, that's completely fine. Look, I mean, you might just have wanted to just get into it, okay? So, pile 3, if you picked this pile, that means that you were drawn to the Revelations Tarot. Let me show you the box. Alright, so you see like a sneak peek of the artwork on the box. That's kind of the cool part about it. So the Revelations Tarot, and I actually have 2 crystals for you. Of course, I had the black Kyanite on the pile for you to choose. But originally, when I was drawing the crystals that I was going to use for the piles, this one fell out. This one did fall out. Menolite, which is also known sometimes as fairy stone or goddess stone. So if that one calls to you, you can use that one to select this pile as well. Well, I guess you would have already selected the pile. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you can use, you know, fairy stone or menolite if you have any of that around, or if you feel drawn to that stone, maybe it's just an extra confirmation for you. Okay, anyway, you probably have noticed, by the way, that I switched things up a little bit around here. That happened during the last reading. We had a little innovation moment where I switched things around so that I could catch the ashes of the incense. Anyway. pile number 3, the card that you picked, which I've already shown to you kind of as close-up here, is this one that shows, to me, it feels like it's multi-generations of cats all showing the same traits. You know, they're all looking off at the same thing. All focused on the same thing. Wow, okay, that was quite interesting. I have not gotten an ad on this YouTube video yet. 1 second. Okay, that was extremely frustrating. Alright. Pile 3, we will find a way around that and edit around it. Alright, let's see what this card says on the back. Curiosity. Be spontaneous, wonder, move forward, look ahead, and stretch above your present circumstances. Okay, so this is definitely about curiosity and the cat. But it's not saying that curiosity killed the cat. Like, it's not saying that it's a bad thing. It's saying that it's a good thing. I mean, after all, the saying goes that curiosity killed the cat, but if that's, you know, the only saying that you know about cats, then that's one way you can identify the fact that these creatures are cats. I mean, all of them share this trait of being curious. They're all staring at the same thing off in the distance. Okay, let's keep this. I'll flip it back over. Also, number 9 may be important to you right now at this time. I'm going to move these cards, and hopefully the iPad will have a better time focusing now. Alright. So for pile 2, I actually forgot that, that I was supposed to have a theme for the tarot cards, and I just read them completely intuitively. And you know what? If anyone watched pile 2, I hope that they don't feel, you know, left out by that. I'm totally joking. Yeah, anyway. Every pile's different. But for you guys, I am going to give you the theme. Okay, so I prepared these piles with intentions that we would see what the full moon is asking you, or what the full moon did help you release, and then what it revealed, and then one thing that it helped you reassess or see that you need to reassess. So let's flip everything over now. So we'll keep this card as our significator so that you can focus on it. Alright, release, reveal, reassess. Release, reveal, reassess. Release, 3 of Swords. Reveal, King of Pentacles. Reassess, Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. Okay. Releasing heartbreak. Releasing despair. You released. That's just beautiful. Okay. Revealing someone in a position of power over you. Okay? Something that they had to say, or something that they had kept hidden from you in some way. We'll have clarifiers for these cards if we need them later, but I'm gonna lay out the whole reading before I really try to interpret what the messages are that we're getting. And reassess. You're reassessing your your job, to be a quite obvious, but like, you know, it's deeper than that. You're reassessing, you know, how you think of money in fundamental ways. All right, let's get into this. This is just interesting energy. Okay. Okay. I'm remembering now that you guys are different in another way. So pile 1 and pile 2 only got 3 of these moon sprites, and you got 4. Because 4 fell out while I was shuffling. Well, I drew 2, and then I was trying to draw the third one, and 2 fell out, and I was like, okay, I'll just take them. So you got 4 kind of energies, like, that are helping you, that are showing up in your reading today to help you from this Moon Sprites Oracle, this beautiful Oracle deck I got in Kickstarter. Or I backed it on Kickstarter. It's a beautiful art. And it's like fantastical fantasy creatures, as well as some different symbols and like archetypes. Just a really beautiful and varied deck altogether. But you're gonna have these 4. We're gonna have 4 for you to help you help you interpret these messages from the tarot today. All right, so we have the cottage. All right, and for the last 2 decks, I did intend to actually match up each card to each one of these. So I'm going to take the cottage as to be the overall theme, you know, corresponding with this curiosity card here. So that's going to be our extra card, right? And then these 3, I'm going to take these as somewhat clarifying energies for these tarots. All right, we have 39, the rabbit, clarifying the 3 of Swords. We have 40, the forest. Ooh, I love that. Beautiful mushrooms. This is clarifying the King of Pentacles. And we have 41, the Cerberus, clarifying the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so you have a numerical progression here. That's not surprising to me because this was the first time I shuffled this deck. So that's full transparency. I had thought that I had shuffled this deck prior to using it for this reading, but so it doesn't surprise me that a sequence of cards came out despite my best efforts to shuffle it well. However, that doesn't mean it's not something to draw notice to. And what I'm seeing is that especially the fact that I decided to, before I saw these 3, to associate this one with your main overall energy, and then these 3 chronological cards with these 3, that tells me, like, this is very clearly meant to be a message for you that things are going to be proceeding logically as they should in your life right now. Things, like, you know, this revealing is whatever it is, whoever it is, whatever is coming to light is going to be clear to you. It is going to be clear to you how to proceed. And that is because of your curiosity. All right? See, I want to continue, but I also think I should probably break some things down before I move on. So we have the cottage. And we have this corresponding with curiosity. Stretch above your present circumstances. Okay, so imagine that this cottage is your mind, or like it's like the imaginary world inside your head or inside your mind. If you never leave this area, if you never, you know, dared to climb onto the tree and like look over the edge, or maybe like stand by the edge of the waterfall and look at what's going down there, or you might never see this dragon and you might never know. And curiosity, you know, having the guts to act on your curiosity, to be spontaneous, to wonder, move forward, look ahead, stretch above your present circumstances. That takes a courage, okay? Because it's safe in the house. It's safe. It's not so safe once you climb onto that tree. You could fall. It's not so safe once you get close to the edge. It's not so safe when you accept the ride on the dragon's back. Curiosity kills the cat, as they say. But then something brought it back. I can't remember what the other half of that. I can't remember the other half of the saying, but curiosity killed the cat. Something brought it back. I don't know. But something's going to bring you back. And that reminds me of a song. Bring me back to life. Bring me back to life. It's a mother song. Mother, right? The rabbits, known to be mothers, known for being procreating. All right? You might have released some sort of heartbreak and pain related to being a mother or to your mother recently. A mother wound, so to speak. And in a sense, if you do have some kind of pains about being a mother, they may, most of the time, I feel like they may have had some kind of roots in your relationship with your mother at some point, but of course many people will probably tell me, no, that's not true. Because everybody does have different situations, and sometimes, you know, people can have traumatic situations even that they maybe need to get over heartbreak and grief that has nothing to do with their own mother. They have a wonderful relationship with their mother, but then they had something happen in their life, in their struggles, maybe trying to, you know, trying for fertility or trying to work against a natural fertility. One way or another, this wound may be in your, have been in the back of your mind, or may have been influencing things in your life in a way that has been released with this full moon. You have released something related to the pain of your mother's experience, or your experience being a mother, wanting to be a mother, wanting to not be a mother, working with mothers in some way. And I'm hearing Cancer energy right now. Maybe you're a Cancer. Maybe maybe you have a Cancer in your life. Because the home, the cottage, the home in your mind, the safe place, home is where the heart is. That's a Cancer kind of phrase. And Cancer is related to motherhood, okay? Homeland, the motherland, actual mothers. 2222 on the camera timer, okay? All right, so I'm getting kind of diametric kind of things right here, because we have this mother energy, but then there's this very strong kind of like father, paternal, daddy energy, if you will, sugar daddy, kind of, the King of Pentacles. We have Bulls in the background here, Taurus, okay? There's something here, I can't quite tell what this is, like some kind of machinery. Yeah, so there could be a Taurus in your life, could be somebody, your boss. This could be a boss. Something is being revealed, and it's not necessarily something bad, but it's something that's gonna take you down an unknown path. Okay, so some things you're just going to have to experiment with and do your own trial phases, because in this forest card, all these mushrooms, I'm thinking about Alice in Wonderland, and how she really had to just, you know, follow her instinct, follow, you know, kind of leap in, just like jump in without really knowing, right, if these mushrooms were going to be safe, you know, like, I know I sound very vague right now, but what I'm saying is there's going to be opportunities presented to you, or there were opportunities presented to you with this recent full moon, or since then, from somebody that has kind of a aura of power over you, or is your actual boss. Most likely more a masculine person, doesn't have to be a man, but could be someone with a more commanding or like masculine or Taurus, stubborny kind of workaholic-y kind of vibe. And you're going to have to decide for yourself based on your own, what you want. You're going to have to think about what you want to get out of this offer, okay? Because the people that are presenting this offer to you might be trying to be kind of pushy about it. They might be like, hey, yeah, you're really good for this, or trying to gas you up or something. And like, you're just going to have to know what you want to get out of it, and either try and be like, okay, that's fine. Or, I mean, you can decline the offer, but you have to remember that you are not your mother, okay? So, because if you've been wondering if you're like, this sounds like nothing like the last, yes, these are all connected, okay? These are all connected. This is one sort of kind of situation, right? Like, you've released this kind of mother wound thing, right? I said that was very vague, but I'm feeling like this situation that you released, and I'm seeing this like fly on my, sorry, but I think this situation where you've released this, you know, kind of trauma, pain, is helping you recognize that you can step into your own confidence and your own kind of desires more, know what you really want, and that's going to help you know which offers are not for you to accept. And it's going to help you to have the curiosity to look into things that are better suited for you. Because look, release, reveal, reassessing your source of income. You are realizing that this job that you are working may, and hear me out, may, right? I didn't say I'm not saying for sure. But you're realizing that this job that you're working, or whatever you are currently doing to get an income, may not be sustainable. And that is what this card is about, right? Like you've realized now that you're at a turning point and you have a choice to make, right? You know, will you continue to kind of operate with this wounded victim kind of mindset of like, that maybe your mother might have instilled in you without you knowing, or that maybe you kind of developed from experiencing hardships and difficulties in life, and it's completely natural and normal to develop a victim mindset. That's not something I'm judging you for, if that is something you struggled with in the past or even now. Okay, I really want to move this because there's so much of glare, and these cards are kind of shiny. That's why I like matte cards. Anyway. Okay. Is that better? Not really. Okay. But yes, you're releasing these somewhat you're kind of, you're seeing where these feelings come from, right? What these feelings of, and you're seeing them for what they are, so you can release them, these painful feelings. These come from a deep core wound place. And like, whatever's being revealed to you, pay attention, okay? Because when you're at this turning point, it's a choice that you're being given to keep going in a way that is draining you, or to do something that is more fulfilling to you, more better filling your cup, so you can break any generational curses and pass down only love, only... Yes, okay. Anyway, I feel like I'm starting to ramble on, kind of waxing poetic, as they say, so I'm gonna take a sip of water. To be quite honest, channeling for you, pile 3, has been trickier than channeling for the other 2 piles. And I think it's because this is a energy that I'm not quite so familiar with for you, and in that regard, thank you, honestly, for letting me work through it with you, because this is quite the courageous pile. I mean, you got the word curiosity, but for some reason, with this card turned over, I keep forgetting that it doesn't say courage. Right? I'm thinking of the cowardly lion. I know there's no lions on this card, but there's 3 different kinds of cats, and I'm thinking of the cowardly lion for you guys. We also have Cerberus, the Cerberus. Now, obviously, this... Okay. Now, obviously, this is a 3-headed dog, and this is a creature from Greek mythology. Guardian, or the pet of Hades in the underworld. The guardian of the underworld, the gates. But this, wow, yeah, he is actually breathing fire. That is actually quite scary, but regardless of how scary that is, this illustrator, or I don't know if illustrator is the right term, but this artist has managed to actually make him look adorable. Like, that bottom face, how cute. How cute. But this is what's coming out. This is your inner Cerberus coming out. I mean, if anything, what I'm thinking of is that this may culminate around the beginning of Scorpio season, which is later this month, because Scorpio, I mean, is associated with death, and of course I think of death in the underworld, and Cerberus is a creature of the underworld, and honestly, this forest looks like it's leading down into the underworld. And if you want to take that kind of narrative a little bit further, this could actually be the steps that continue down from this happy place of maybe where you've like broken away from reality, and you're detached from anything that's painful, and you've kind of retreated up into your own little house in the sky, apart from anything else, right? But then you take the trek down, you're curious to see what's down there in the forest. Oh, you're getting down closer to the underworld, closer to the depths. You've got these luminous mushrooms here, and then all of a sudden you're greeted, oh, here's Cerberus at the gates of the underworld. And this is what you're gonna find there. Curiosity killed the cat, right? So the cats went down to the underworld and they found these dogs, but what brought the cat back? See, I can't remember, but maybe you can remember. I don't know. I don't remember how that phrase ends, and I'm not going to search it up right now. But I do know that most people don't even know there is another part of the phrase, right? They just want to say curiosity killed the cat. And that's because they want to teach kids, and they want to tell people to stop being nosy, stop sticking their nose around in things that aren't their business or whatever. But curiosity is, in my opinion, and then what I'm going to tell you, curiosity is a good thing. Curiosity is courage. Because most people are afraid of the unknown. If you have courage to explore your fears, isn't that what learning is? Because if you're learning something, that means you didn't know it before. And if you're afraid of what you don't know, then is curiosity not another side of courage? So you know what you're going to find there, down in the underworld? Yes. You are going to find this protector, right? Because you're going to have your two sides now. You'll have these three curious cats and the three-headed dog. I love how there's 3 cats and 3-headed dog. Like, if I couldn't have coordinated this more better if I tried. If I saw the cards, I couldn't have, it just happened so perfectly. When you have the courage to seek out the unknown, to look into, okay, what is really causing me this pain, this deep-seated pain, and you work through these traumas, look, don't trigger yourself unnecessarily. I'm going to say that. Take care of yourself. Do not trigger yourself and your trauma if it is too fresh, too recent, or if it hurts too much, or if you do not have a professional helping you through this. Okay, I am not trying to advocate for reckless, triggering, especially if you have PTSD or some form of that condition. This is not what I am advocating for. What I am advocating for is fears that you believe you can work through on your own, but that you just haven't really wanted to uncover yet for yourself. Okay, and I think, if there are something that you resonate with, you'll know what I mean. All right. So I have 3 more cards for you today, and the first one, this one is an indie deck. This is the Oracle of Great Mystics deck, and I've shown every other pile this whole box so far because, look, there's gilding on the edge, but I'll show you closer up. This is just such a beautiful deck. I supported this on Kickstarter recently, and I have to show you guys because it's just wonderful. Written by Mona Moon, illustrated by Myths in Art. And then the edges. Okay, like, the edges are like copper gilded. Alright. So let's see what great mystic wisdom is going to help you integrate all of this wisdom today. Mermaid of the Moon. Tireless, unattainable treasure. Unattainable treasure. Wow. Is that not perfectly dark of a background to blend in with the rest of these cards? Because, let me tell you, pile 1 had a mermaid. I think, yeah, pile 1 had a mermaid. So that's pretty cool. If you felt drawn to pile 1, maybe you should go watch that one. Maybe there's something that you will get from it because there was a mermaid as well. If mermaid resonates with you, maybe you should go see pile 1. But I love that because that's just kind of reinforcing the idea of, especially if you connect it to Disney's like Little Mermaid, it's like, or even the Little Mermaid story originally, it's like she wanted something that was seen as unattainable, but she had the courage to be curious about the world above. And you know what? I'm actually going to read from the guidebook for you because I want to support and shout out this beautiful deck even more. But also just because I kind of want to see what it says for this card because it's so intriguing of a card. Okay, Mermaid of the Moon. Tireless, unattainable treasure. The water passes over my fins, running over supple skin and through tangled hair. and the tides are my ally as I swim onwards toward the moon high above me. Yet I know in my deepest heart of hearts that I can never reach it. I am not a bird or a spirit of a higher plane, or some fairy of light who hopes to reach home, but a mermaid. A graceful, beautiful, dangerous thing, yes, but a thing of water. One day I may leave the water by pulling myself onto ships or islands not much closer to the moon, but the effort is enough for me. My mind knows that I will never reach the moon, that I cannot sprout wings or take to the sky, for I am a being of the sea. That unattainable thing of great beauty and power will never be mine, but I want it still. Pay mind to your tasks, dear mystic. Though your heart may want one thing, your mind may know that reaching it is impossible. If not impossible, certainly dangerous and deadly. Be careful and willing to accept that not all things are within reach. Okay, so it has suggestions after that, but I'm actually interpreting this message for you. And I just think it's so interesting that this mermaid already has legs. Like, kind of like how in The Little Mermaid, you know, she wanted legs, but this mermaid already has legs, but she wants to reach the moon, okay? So she's got a kind of a different story from Ariel. But for you, if you want to reach the moon and it's not within your reach right now, then it really truly takes courage to figure out what it's going to take to get there. Because accepting that you are not your fantasy self yet is really hard. It can be humiliating. And that's what takes courage, is to pursue the curiosity of what is going to make you happier and what is going to be in alignment with who you are. If you're pushing yourself to do something in a kind of job that is not for you, you will know it. You will be depressed, bitter, resentful. If that's what you're doing because you feel like you have to, because maybe that's what your parents did, or maybe somebody that you knew, and you feel guilty if you try to pursue the things that you want because they made you feel like, you know, well, not everyone gets to do what they love, or almost no one gets to do what they love, or maybe not those exact words, but maybe somebody has instilled that sentiment in you from a young childhood age, so you've always felt the need to be practical, and you always felt, well, I just can't really listen to what I want. That's not okay. That's not, I mean, it's not, that's like, that would be like going to the moon. But in order to reach the moon, you have to go into the depths first, okay? You've got that message. You need to go deep within, and that is going to help you go deep up. That makes no sense. Okay. Going deep within, into the underworld of your you know, pain, of whatever is causing you to hold yourself back, whatever keeps you self-sabotaging. That is going to help you reach the moon. Okay? Alright, I have one last thing for you today, and it's going to be self-care practices that will help you integrate this message from the moon. The full moon in Aries, which look, this looks like a full moon in Aries. I mean, what it really looks like is a blood moon, and the full moon in Aries, I don't believe it was a blood moon, but this, I mean, Aries is red, right? So, like, Aries is like, that's like the color associated with Aries, at least in my mind. So, to me, I see the red moon, it could easily be Aries full moon. Okay. Your last cards are from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Love this one. It's very versatile. And these are going to be 2 practices for you to help integrate this. Okay, planification. Alright, so look, this is very, very much in line with this traveling thing, but it's telling you that you need to take this literally. Okay, in order to see what's possible for you, where you could go, you need to get out of your bubble. Get out of this rut of how you've been thinking about, you know. I hate the phrase lack mindset, because it kind of triggers like a cringe feeling in me to like excuse me, you know, toxic positivity kind of influencers, but seriously, lack mindset is a real thing. Like, it's not going to be the only thing that keeps you from earning money, right? Like, I'm not so naive to think that you can just start earning more money when you're, you know, in a lot of debt or whatever, what have you. But what this is telling you is, if you can, you know, take this advice, the planification, as a priority in the upcoming months, you know, however long or whenever you would like to do it, if that's the next thing you could try to save up for, that would be something that would probably help you expand your horizons, see some more kind of possibilities of what you can do, where you can go, who you can be, and what you can achieve. And the last card for you today is chanting. Okay, so that could be mantras. That could be listening to songs that you like and singing along. That could be chanting exactly like it looks here, where you are doing these poses and chanting. Sorry, I don't know specific terminology about what she's doing, so I'm not going to speak, you know, on my ignorance there, and I don't know the terminology, but you can do in a class setting like that even. Like, this is something you can incorporate in, I think, whatever way best fits your lifestyle. Because for me, I was kind of chanting earlier today before I went into work. And you know what I said? And what I was doing, it was kind of repeating whatever mantras popped into my head at the moment, but it wasn't mantras like, you know, what you might see on, you know, some self-help guru's blog. It was like, literally, I was pacing around my counter, my bar counter in my kitchen in my apartment. I was pacing around that going, I will not let the system take me down. I will not let the system take me down. I will not let the system take me down. Before I went into work. And you know what? I had a fine day. And I came out of there feeling like my energy was completely intact. It wasn't leaking out toward people that I didn't want to waste energy on at work. It wasn't adding to my resentfulness and bitterness. I just felt like I was there. I performed my duties. I left, and the rest of the day was mine. I didn't feel, you know, what I normally feel, which is kind of like so exhausted and beat down that I can't do anything for myself after work. And that is your goal that you're going to try to be getting to, okay? That is the goal that you're trying to have by chanting, because that is going to be what you're going to be trying to achieve through these things. You are trying to get to a place where you are separate from this cycle, this hustle, this grind, this whatever is bringing you down, whatever is, you know, whatever pain is being triggered when you know, allow employers to treat you a certain way that reminds you of how your parents used to maybe bring you down, or someone in your life, maybe not your parents, maybe you have wonderful parents, maybe a teacher, maybe, you know, a grandparent, or somebody who was verbally harsh or abusive toward you in the past. These are things that you released, right? This is something you've seen and released with the full moon, and you're being given an offer now. You're being given opportunities. You don't have to take them. If you're not ready to take them, you don't have to. Somebody may be offering you something in your job that will maybe even be better for you. Maybe I've been talking about how your job's not working for you and you're like, that's not true, I love my job. Well, maybe that opportunity that you're going to be presented is a sign to continue pursuing your job then. To continue to step up and have the courage to accept a position that maybe you might normally decline and want to self-sabotage because you're worried that you won't be good enough. Pile 3, thank you so much for being here with me through this reading. If you've made it to the end, please remember to like, subscribe if you want to see me again, and comment please if this video resonated with you. Here are your stones again. You have black kyanite and menelite, white menelite. Alright, pile 3, thank you so much for this beautiful reading. Of course, I have drawn on my own personal intuition, instincts, and experiences to project this reading out for you. And don't forget, please, don't forget that we are all projecting all the time. And that's not always a bad thing. That can be a bad thing if you're unaware, but being self-aware of when we're projecting onto others is actually a beautiful thing, because it allows us to harness our projections and be aware of them, so that we can be open to criticism from others when they may be inaccurate. Much love to you, pile 3. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you again in another video.